Have you ever had a lesson where everything looks successful? Learners are engaged, they're participating, they're even using the target language. But something still isn't quite right. They're speaking, but the language isn't really theirs yet. You might hear something like, "I agree because it is important." And yes, that's correct. It's exactly what you taught. But then you change the context slightly and they can't adapt it. That's the moment. That's the gap between using language and owning language. My name's Jane Maria Harding de Rosa from Enriching ELT. Why students struggle to make language their own and what to do instead. The final make it your own stage is where many lessons quietly fall apart because we often mistake participation for ownership. Learners are speaking, but are they thinking? They're completing the task, but are they processing the language? Let me show you what I mean. I think it is important. I think it is important. I think it is important. Now listen to this. I think it is important because it affects everyone. I think it might be more important in schools than at home. Actually, I'm not sure it's important in this situation. It's the same starting point, but completely different level of thinking. So what do we actually mean by make it your own? Because it's not just about getting learners to speak. It's not just saying something. It's not just repeating something. It's not just completing a task. It's when learners adapt the language, take risks, move beyond the model, and actually mean what they say. They're no longer relying on what you gave them. They're starting to make decisions. So why does this stage break down so often, so to speak? From what I've seen, there are three main reasons. Number one, not enough manipulation. Learners haven't had enough time to work with the language. We move on too quickly. Take this classroom activity, a sentence expansion grid. So you might start with, "It is important," and then build, "It is important for students." It is important for students because. It is important for students in secondary schools because. So each step adds meaning. Each step requires thinking. Number two, the task doesn't require thinking. Sometimes the task looks communicative, but learners can complete it without really engaging. Have a look at this activity and spot the difference. Give learners two sentences. It is important to recycle. It might be important to recycle. What's the difference? Which one is stronger? When would you use each one? Now they have to think about meaning, not just form. Number three, there's too much pressure to be correct. If learners feel that they're being evaluated and assessed all the time, they play it safe. They stay close to the model. So a classroom activity, say it differently, challenge them. Give them a sentence like, "I agree because it is important," and then say it again, but differently. So no correction, no interruption, just experimentation. That's where ownership starts to happen. So what needs to be in place? So what actually helps learners get there? For me, there are three things really. The first is security before freedom. Learners need to feel safe before they let go of the model. A repetition with variation. So you might use a sentence frame like, I think is important because, and then change one element each time. Change the topic, change the reason, change the context. It's repetition, but with thinking. Number 2, they need a reason to think. If the task doesn't require thinking, they won't move beyond repetition. So you might have an activity where you have an opinion line and you ask them a question like, homework is essential, and the learners position themselves physically or mentally on the line of whether they think it's essential or not. Then they need to justify where they are. First, they do that once. Then they do it again in order to refine their statement, and then again in order to adapt it. So as they keep going and moving along the line, each repetition improves the language. The third thing is the permission to experiment. Learners need to know it's okay to try and change. So you might have an activity like try it, improve it, adapt it. The first answer is simple. The second time they try to answer, it should be better. And the third time, in a different context. So experimentation leads to ownership. This is why the MMM framework matters so much here. Meet. Learners encounter the language in context. Manipulate. They repeat, adapt, experiment. Make it your own. It only works if the first 2 are strong. You can't jump to ownership. You have to build towards it. This is something I've been reflecting on a lot recently, especially how we recognise that moment when language becomes the learners. So I'm really curious, what does make it your own look like in your classroom? Let me know in the comments. If you found this helpful, you might also be interested in how the MMM framework works across a full lesson. I'll link that down below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.